right, guys, here's what we're making today. The Sorella by Simply Classic. Now, this one is all leather. This is leather. The brown is leather. The tags are leather. The only thing that's not leather is my handle. I didn't have enough to do that. The other thing that's not leather is one little piece of lining. This is waterproof canvas, but the rest of it's leather. Two credit card slots or slip pockets, however you want to use them. Oh my gosh, you guys. And then it is a beautiful thing. I put my tag on there. That's a piece of leather too that I hot foiled. And it's got a little flip lock. And once I fill it up, it'll even that out. There are no puckers in here. Here's one. This is mine. The leather one's mine. This one is faux leather, and this one is for sale on my website. So cute. Again, an adjustable strap. You can remove the strap. These are gate rings if you want to do something different. Oh my gosh. And it's got linen for the lining. There is one bound side to it, but this still has the two credit card slots. Very cute. All right, go grab the pattern and let's get started. This is the one we're making in the video. Thanks for watching. Let's go. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. Just a quick little update. I know you guys know that I got Thor at the So Magical Expo a little over a year ago, from Sunny Sewing Machines. So I've not had any issues. I haven't had to reach out to them for anything until recently. And I reached out to Sam at Sunny Sewing Machines because this little piece on my Thor broke. Okay? He said, no issue. We have hundreds of them. I'll send you some. He sent me 3 of these. You know, I guess, I don't know if they have issues with them or not, but, so he sent me 3 of these just immediately. And he sent me a really nice tweezer. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. So, Sam, thank you so much. And I will say, I don't get paid to say anything. I get no kickback from them, just to be quite transparent. If you're thinking about buying a machine and Sunny Sewing Machines has it, I would not hesitate to reach out to them and work with them. Sam is one of the guys that works there. I don't really know what his role is. I don't know if he'd be the one you talk to. I'm sure he could put you in touch with somebody, but he works with Lauren at Mormino headquarters all the time, fixing machines. They're really good friends. And so Sam is a genuine guy, and Sunny Sewing Machine stands behind their stuff. So, like I said, I've not had no issues with it until this. I'm going to go put this little piece on there and go from there. But don't hesitate to, if you have questions about wanting to buy something, a new machine, like a cylinder arm or a Thor. They have 1341 cylinders. They have 1541 flatbeds. They have all kinds of machines. Anyway, thank you, Sam. I appreciate you. I truly do. So let's get started. We're going to make something in leather. So let me start the video. All right, guys, here's what we're making today. The Sorella by Simply Classic. Now, I do have a launch video out there, and I did it in the red, just like this. But what I'm going to do today is leather. I know it. I'm living dangerously. Here is my leather. I'm going to do it. I'm not doing black. I'm not doing purple. Way out of my color scheme. You'll love it. So here is the gorgeous brown leather. This is what I'm using for the lining. It's just a waterproof canvas. And then for the flap, just to have a little contrast, this is what I'm using. This is also leather. Look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I honestly, I'll have to go back and look where I got it. I think I got it from Springfield Leather. I'm pretty sure. I'll go look. There's no markings on here. Let me see, just real quick. Oh, I already fused that. Springfield Leather, but look at these two pieces together. Let me see. The brown and that. I'm using antique gold hardware. And I'm going to use some really fancy gnome zipper pulls. And I'm using brown zipper tape with antique gold hardware. Or zipper teeth. Then for the flap, I'm using this tiny little flip lock. I don't have a twist lock small enough. I could actually use a thumb lock. I'm going to go see if that would work. A little thumb lock. But this is what I plan on using. Unless I can, thumb lock works. Let's get started. You're going to love this bag. I did just release another video, but that was vinyl. And actually that was part of her quarterly subscription box. And this is all leather. I know, I'm living dangerously. So we'll go over each piece and any stabilizer or anything I'm using as we go along. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is make my strap. And I don't have any straps in leather long enough for this. So I'm using this really gorgeous rose. It goes really good with the red in my flap. So that's what we're going to use. I don't even have any brown webbing. Can you believe it? So I'm just putting this strap slide adjuster over, if I can get it over. And I'm using a narrow slide adjuster. Goodness, you'd think I've never done it before. And I'm just folding that over. Just this webbing in particular really doesn't fray much. But in case it does, I just folded it over. And we're gonna decrease our stitch length to a 3, since this is pretty narrow. And I'm gonna do 2 rows of stitches. Again, I don't use rivets. Now, I saw somebody recently have a solder tool that might work. I haven't done the research on it. It's pretty cool. I think it was beside me. I'll have to go look. And that might be good enough to solder the webbing so it doesn't fray when you're putting rivets. Just burning my little thread ends here. Okay. Put my swivel clasp on. Make sure it's not twisted. Okay. Up and through. The slider, again, the top of your slider and that your swivel clasp is on correctly. Add your other swivel clasp, right side up, And then I'm going to fold that over again. And do 2 rows of stitches. Before I do that, I always check to make sure I don't have anything twisted. You know, brown thread is just like black thread. It just creates a lot of mess. Okay, so now our strap is done. And this strap can be used as a waist strap or a crossbody strap. Now, I would probably not wear it as a waist bag, but there are, I shouldn't even say that because I might. You know, you wear a lot of bags on your shoulder and it tends to, your shoulder tends to get sore, especially if you're like out and about all day long. So putting it on your waist might be a good option. All right, so there's my strap. Let's put that aside for now and next step. All right, so I'm gonna do my 2 connectors. There's one that goes on the top and one that goes on the bottom. They're kind of the flat closure, will you say? So I have 2 pieces of leather and I'm gonna glue those together for the lower closure and the upper closure. And I'm using this leather and suede glue. I've never used it before. So let's just see how it goes. I need to get my paper out. Because as you know, I'm like a 3rd grader. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So I always keep some parchment paper in here for when I glue things, so I don't get it everywhere. Yep. So let's just, we are gonna sew this. Why won't this come out? Oh, I need to clip my top here. Okay. Oh, it's clear. I don't know why I thought it would be white. And this is the piece for that, so let me just make sure I got it on there enough. No, I need to come down just a little. There we go. Now I'm going to roll that. Do I need to? Probably not. All right, so there's one. And here is the longer one. This is the lower closure piece. Okay, so I'm going to put it on this side. I don't know if I'm using too much. You leather makers out there can probably tell me. Anne and Gabby haven't done a how-to with me yet. think it wipes off, though. Anne did tell me that. Let me just see. Okay, I just want to make sure I got it on there so I can get my piece out. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to let those two dry for just a minute. Let me see what this says about dries clear. Doesn't really say how long. So I have other things I can do. So I'm going to set those two pieces aside and let those dry. And we'll go from there. Next step. All right, one more little bit of glue. So this is the flap, and I did add a piece of self-adhesive foam to this. And then I am going to glue these two together before I stitch it. So the flap is going to go up like this. So I want my little flowers going up. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little more glue. Again, we are going to be stitching this. So I know you leather people out there are going, oh, this girl has a lot to learn. It's okay, I do. Oh my. All right, we'll set that aside. All right, well, those pieces are drying. I'm going to get my credit card slot ready. So this is my piece of leather, exterior piece. You're going to measure down what she tells you to in the pattern. And then for my lining, I am using some self-adhesive lining, but it's in brown. I forgot that I actually had ordered. This is brown that I got from Made on Jupiter. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's perfect for all this brown leather. So we're just going to use this piece. And just an FYI, this is a piece and this is a separate piece. So it's not cut from the same pattern piece because this lining is a little smaller. And we're going to add that at the line. And there is a little bit of room on each side, and that's the way it should be. And there's a little hangover here. That's okay. Then we're going to take that tape off and fold that down. And that covers that top raw edge. So just like that. And then we're going to stitch, do a basting stitch. Not really a basting stitch, a top stitch across the top. And I'm just back stitching here. And I changed my stitch length to a 4. Okay. And then I am going to just trim off that extra liner that's on the bottom. I have to tell you something funny, guys. I think I mentioned this in another video, but Tony has taken over my cutting room. I really should take a video, but he won't allow it. He doesn't like to be on camera. I get it. But he's in there cutting some clear vinyl. for some windows at the golf cart room. All right, so that's all that is. So you have your wallet liner here, and you have it top stitch on the top. That's all there is to it. All right, next step. All right, so we're gonna prepare our gusset too, and on this I'm using the self-adhesive. So on each end, I just measured down what she tells you to in the pattern, put a piece of double-sided tape there, and now I am gonna take off my adhesive, and we're gonna add that. It's easier said than done. There we go. And I cut mine, and the beautiful thing about this self-adhesive lining, if you don't get it on the way you want it, you can lift it up. That's one thing I love about it, and I did a terrible job on that. So. Let me get it on there again. Perfect. Oops, nope, that's not far enough down. Okay. Goodness, Barb. There we go. Perfect. And then fold these down. Just like we did on the credit card. And that doesn't have to be for credit cards. It can be used for IDs or whatever, you know, you want it to be. You can leave it undivided, or you can divide it like we're going to do. Okay. Beautiful. So we're going to top stitch each of those ends. And then I'm going to pull my other end up here and do some chain stitching. Perfect. Okay, so burn any ends that you need to. Okay, there we go. This leather is so luxurious. Oh, it's beautiful. All right, next step. So on each end of this gusset, find your center. Fold your right sides together, and I'm just clipping them on the top. And then she has you measure down a certain distance, and we're going to just do a little stitching to that mark at 1/8 of an inch. And you want it to be just at the center. So we're going to taper it off at that mark that she has us make. So just starting at the top and going down. I'm going to back stitch. I gotta find my mark. There it is. I don't know why my machine is acting like that. That's bizarre. Okay, let's repeat that on the other side. Let me pull my, yeah, so another 1/8 of an inch. And taper off at that marks right there. Okay. I think when I did the release video, I forgot to do this until the end. So I'm doing it where she tells you to in the pattern this time. So right sides together and it's like we're adding a little dart. So that's all it is. It's just a little dart there. Let me clean this side up. For some reason it said, "What are you doing to me?" Okay. Okay. So now you should have a little dart on both ends, just like this. So that's what you should have. It's very cute. All right, next. Okay. So I forgot to put my twist lock in, or my flip lock. I'm using a little flip lock, and this is the long piece. So I just pulled that end up and I put it on there and a piece of stabilizer and covered it with a piece of fleece. Now I'm just going to glue that back down, that whole piece. And it wasn't quite dry, so. Perfect. Now we'll let that dry while we do the other one real quick. Perfect. So there's that part. All right, so on this piece, I'm going to turn it over so you don't see the piece. Yeah. We're just going to draw the outside because that's going to be our stitch line. We're just inside that. Okay. So there is our upper flap, the one that's going to have the hole in it, and we're going to stitch around that. All right, we're going to stitch around on the inside edge of our drawn line by what she tells you to in the pattern. I got to get rid of all this stuff here. And I'm going to start up here. And I am going to back stitch. All right, now we'll trim this up. Okay. Oops. Make sure I have a really good, you could do this with the rotary cutter, and maybe I will. Let me get my rotary cutter out in my little mat. Because there's no reason you can't do it with your rotary cutter. Get a nice clean edge. Perfect. And then we'll get some of that leather marking off of there, if there's any left. Now this is a little curved edge, so oops. So it's hard to do it with a rotary cutter, so I'm just gonna do a little curve there. Perfect. So that's what you should have. That's really pretty good, Bob. Okay, let me get any of that marking off the sides. Perfect. Oh my. All right, so there is our, I think this is the upper closure. Let me see. Yeah. And I'm not going to do the hole for my, even though I have it marked. I'm not going to do that until I get it all on. That way I'm sure it all matches and looks good. Okay. Let's stitch around this lower closure. Go slow or fast as you feel comfortable. I'm going to come one more little stitch here. All right, so same thing. We're gonna trim that up and remove our leather markings that we had. Okay. Now this will be a little more of a challenge because of the turn lock or the flip lock, so I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, and on the bottom here, I'm going to just use my scissors because it's a little bit curved. Okay, and then the same over here. Perfect. Oh my, that looks perfect. Let me clean that up. So there's your upper closure with your little flip lock. Perfect. Just a tiny little hair here. Okay. All right, we're going to do the same thing with our flap. Now this top piece I already have cut to size. So we're going to just do this top stitching 1/8 of an inch. And then we'll trim it. Go slow around your curve. Okay, this is really soft leather. So it's a little challenging actually. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so nice. All right, I'm gonna cut this with my really sharp scissors. My Ginger scissors. And just make sure your scissors are straight up and down and that you don't have them on the sides like this. Make sure they're straight up and down. I'm having to actually concentrate to make sure that I'm not doing that. It's called crowning, I think. I think I did that a little bit right here. Yeah. Now, some of these bigger pieces of leather, I am not throwing away. I might use them for something. But there's my flap. Oh my gosh, you guys. So it'll go like that, and then it'll flip up. And look at how the flowers are. It's beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so the next step is to take our lining. Sorry, I hit the camera too hard. And add it to each of these back pieces. And you're leaving a little bit on the top, and that's how it should be. So I'm going to do the one without the zipper hole first. Again, I used the brown dark brown adhesive lining. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Well, that was easy. Perfect. Now we're going to repeat that over here. On this piece, I did add some foam stabilizer just to give it a little something. And we're going to add this, and then we'll have to cut this out, which is okay. Okay. And some people may ask why I'm not using Selpa. I thought Selpa, you could. I thought Selpa would be a little too stiff for this particular bag. Okay, now I'm going to cut that out. Let me see. And I am just cutting it. You could do this before if you wanted on that piece, but I actually find it easier to do this way because I don't want to have, I don't want to miss any of my lining where it should be. I'll show you. And this way, when I actually put my zipper in, it covers this up, so it's not, I mean, it stitches it in place. Even though it's adhesive, it still needs to be stitched in place. Okay. It's stuck to me. So there you have it. Now, if there's any little hangover, just trim that up. Okay, pretty good. And this will all get top stitched down. So now we have our two pieces of leather with the lining attached. I love it. But we're going to get my zipper. All right, I put "It's a Beautiful Thing" tag on my flap. I did hot foil on that, on leather. It looks perfect. I'm getting better at it. And then I put the Jeannie's designs on the back. Same hot foil on leather. So Now we are ready to put our zipper in our front piece. So I'm just going to take the tape off. And I'm just doing one side at a time. You don't, this is a pretty small opening, just so you know. So if you're using number 5 zipper tape, it's going to be, it's not a full 1/2 inch like most, which is good. I think a lot of leather crafters would say a 1/2 inch is too big. So I'm trying to be just like them. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to stitch around the outside. All right, so I haven't stitched my zipper in place. I'm going to do all the stitching at the same time. So I found the center of the bottom of my card slot and the center of the bottom here. And I added some double-sided tape on the edges on each side and the bottom. And we're going to just measure up and center this what she tells you to in the pattern. Okay. And then we're going to stitch down. I'm going to mark 2 inches, I think. No, 2.5 inches from each side. That's not really a secret because that's about what you need for a card slot. And just use something, a marker that you can remove. And I'm just going to test my card. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm going to stitch up and down both of those sides. Right in the center. I'm going to go down the side, across the bottom, and back up, and then I'm going to go do a stitch right down the center of those 2 marks. And I am going to back stitch here. And I'm going to go all the way across. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go right in the center, and then I'm going to go up. And then I'm going to come right back down that line. Just give it a little stability. And then I'm going to go across the bottom, back up the other side. Okay. And then I'll get rid of those marks. Oh, that looks so good. What happened to my... Just get those leather markings off right away as soon as you can, because they will, if you leave them on there too long, they'll be permanent, and you don't want that. Okay. Now we're going to stitch around our zipper. So that's, you can't hardly even see it because of my brown thread. stitch around our zipper. I'm going to pull that thread to the back. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to pull that thread to the back. You don't have to. I don't really have to because I'm using black brown on brown, but I just think it looks better. Tie those off and burn the ends of your thread. One more. Okay. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Now I am going to trim off my excess zipper tape. And I'll burn the ends. All right. Oh my gosh, and look at my little gnome zipper pull. Isn't he cute? Test your card slots. Perfect. Perfect. All right, next step. All right, so on your flap, the front of your flap, mark your centers and measure down what she tells you to in the pattern. And on the back of your upper closure, put a piece of double-sided tape there. And we are going to add that centered right on that line. And then we are going to draw, I'm going to draw it, and then I'll erase it. My stitch line. At least I'm going to go around, so I'm going to follow the previous stitch lines, but there, I'm going to stitch it there. Okay. And stitch all the way around. And I'm going to back stitch here. I'm brown on brown, so it doesn't, it's very hard to see. Just go slow because you want to stay in your same stitches if you can. It's not completely critical, but it'll look nicer if you can. And then back up. because this stitching will be very visible on the back here, on the back of your flap. So there we go. That's how it looks. I'm just going to burn those threads. Perfect. All right, so now I'm going to do the next step when I put these two together. So on the back piece, which is the one with your credit card slots and your zipper, measure the line that's on the pattern piece. Find the center of your flap. Put a piece of double-sided tape on the front side. And we're going to center that right sides down. Right on that line. And you should have about the same on each side. And then we're going to do 2 rows of stitches there. Staying on the flap. And I'm back stitching. 1 at an 8. And then 1 1/4. So cute. Again, staying on the flap. If you have any markings that are on your piece, remove those. And I just have a couple little marks there. Or anything under here that you can see, just get rid of those. Because you don't want those visible over time. And it's very easy to remove right now. Okay. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Look at that. I love it. Next step. Okay, so on the back piece, the one without the zipper overlay, where I put my tag, find your center on the bottom and then measure up what she tells you to in the pattern. Take your other bottom flap, and we're gonna add a piece of tape here, and we're gonna add that right centered, as good as you can, and then we're gonna stitch around our previous stitches and then at that line that she tells you to draw. You're not gonna do all the way down. And I'm back stitching here. And then get rid of your leather mark. Or whatever marking tool you use. Make sure it doesn't stay there. Perfect. Okay. So this is the back, and the flip lock is right side up, just so you know. Okay, next step. All right, so on the back, without the zipper, put a piece of double-sided tape down this top edge here. And now we're gonna put these two pieces wrong sides together, or lining sides together, whatever makes the most sense for you. And I'm just trying, because this is a raw edge bag, so we can certainly trim it a little if we need to. But you want it to be pretty good before you do that. And this is kind of being in my way, so I'm going to clip that out of place, out of my way. Oh my. The thing you do want to make sure of is your little corners here match pretty well. Mine do, believe it or not. Now we're just going to clip all that together. And this will be staying out of your way. You don't want to sew that down. Okay, that looks pretty good. If it's a little, even it out just a little. If it's not, there we go. Okay, perfect. All right. Oh my gosh, it looks so cute. Then, all right. All right, so now we are going to stitch all the way around here and then down and around. So we're stitching these two pieces together, and just follow her stitch length. Make sure that your bottom closure is up and out of your way. You don't want to stitch that down. And I'm back stitching. Go slow around your curves. and make your turn here and stitch around your square. It's not really a square, it's an oblong piece. And just make sure you're pivoting well at your corners here. Again, make sure your bottom flap is up and out of the way. Okay. Perfect. And then we will, that looks really pretty dang good. I'm kind of surprised, Bob. I have a little hangover of my lining here, which I'm just going to trim off. Okay, pretty good. So that's what you should have. Here is your front with your flap on it, and then your back with the back flap. I'm gonna say, in retrospect, this leather is probably a little too soft, or I wonder if I should have used some Selpa. You know, I'll see. I'll see how it looks when I get it all done and how it feels. Okay. Next step. All right, take your front piece. It's called the front. You have one lining and one main. Put them right sides together and stitch those together at the top, straight edge. The seam allowance in the pattern. My leather is sticking to my machine. Isn't that funny? It's not really sticking, it's just not gliding. And I don't have my walking foot on here, which I probably should, but I was worried it would also mar my leather. That's all right. Now we're gonna just put those wrong sides together and top stitch. And if you've watched Chris at all or are familiar with her, she doesn't like lining peeking through. I don't mind it nearly as much as she does, but probably for this reason, this purpose, I don't want it showing. And then we're going to just top stitch this. And I think we'd go all the way around. Let me see. Nope, we don't. Okay. I won't do it. But I might baste it. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. That looks pretty good, actually. All right. Let me check. All right. So find the center of your front piece and your gusset. Then we're going to put those right sides together. This is the only part of it that doesn't have a raw edge on the outside. And then bring that up to the top. On both sides. Man, this leather smells so good. And clip that. If you need to clip your gusset a little bit, which you might, and I might have to, just be very aware of what your seam allowance is, and just do half of your seam allowance. So that's what I'm going to do, just half my seam allowance on my gusset. And that's all you need. That gives you plenty to smooth it out and get a nice curve. That's all you need. It's amazing what those tiny little clips will do to get you a nice curve around your gussets. All right, then we're going to stitch that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. I better check my bobbin. Let me just see. I have enough to do this. Okay. All right, let's do it. Just go slow around your curves and flatten it out as much as possible, so you don't get any puckers if you can avoid them. see how we did. You guys, there's not one pucker. It's just amazing. I love it. Okay. All right, next time. All right, trim your edges just so they're nice and even, because this is a bound part of this bag. And then I'm just using fold over elastic. I folded the top down, and I am going to put that right on the top. And I am going to change my thread so it matches. It's probably not necessary, but this is a leather bag, and I want it to look as good as it can inside and out. So. I don't want brown thread on this elastic. It would just look not good, I don't think. So get that clipped in place. And when you get back up here, leave yourself a little room to fold it over so there isn't a raw edge. So just like that. Okay. Make sure you have enough on each side. And I'm going to change my thread. All right, I changed my thread. Let's do it. I'm going to do it from this side. Yeah, this is so much better than brown thread. Make sure I'm catching it. Oh yeah, perfect. Grab my stiletto. Okay. Oh my gosh, that is so much better than brown thread. Yeah, you can see the thread, but is it as noticeable as if I use brown? No. I like it. So much more professional looking, and we caught it on that side too. It's a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful thing. Next time. All right, so turn your front flap right side out, and there is not one pucker there, you guys. I'm pretty proud of myself. it happens sometimes. Okay. Find your centers and take your back piece, mark where your center is, and we're going to attach this right on top with our centers. And we're going to clip that all the way around. We're not going to clip our corners here because this is raw edge and you don't want to have clipped corners. And make sure your bottom flap is out of the way. And just clip it all the way around. You do want your sides to end up at the same place next to your flap. So just keep that in mind as you're clipping. And mine is just off a little bit. That is weird. Okay. Yeah, you can't have it. So let's do this. Let's mark it right there. I remember this last time. I had to kind of finagle this to get it nice and even. She tells you about where it should be from the bottom of your flap. So it might be easier to start on both sides and bring it down around so that it's nice and even. I'm going to see how that goes this go around. Otherwise, it's going to feel off center if you don't get it nice and even. You know what I mean? Yeah, much better. So I'll tell you what mine is from the bottom of my flap. It's not quite what she says in the pattern, but as long as it's even, it's fine. Mine is, I'll show it to you. Mine is just a shy 1/4 inch from the bottom of my flap on each side. And it's nice and even. Make sure your flap is out of the way. And we're going to stitch a generous seam allowance here. Oops, I got to go back to my brown thread. All right, let's stitch around the edge, just keeping in mind, keep this flap up and out of the way. And I'm back stitching. Just go slow. We're going to trim it, so just keep that in mind. Oh, let me make sure. Yep. Okay. So pretty. This is my bag, guys. I'm not putting this one away. No, this is a Barbie bag. Burn any threads that you need to. Okay, oh my goodness gracious. This is a lot better than my first one, believe it or not. Huh. All right. Oh my. Okay, next thing. All right, so I cut my hole and I left it a little on the small side on purpose. I am going to put just a hair of my Loctite glue in there. Yeah. And then we're going to add this. Oh, you know what? I got to do it on the other side. Goofy. Yeah. Oh, I need a little more glue. This stuff is dangerous. I mean, it really is. It's very messy. I don't like it for that reason. All right, make sure you're putting the side that is facing up on the right side. I had it backwards, so. Okay, now let's put this on. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's so nice. Ooh, I didn't get rid of that mark on there. Oh, good, it came off. Phew. So on these ends here, mark how she tells you to. There's 3 marks. We're going to put some rivets there. So I've marked them, and now I'm going to just mark my holes. And, you know, you want them to be as nice and even as possible. Okay. This is so cute. Now, what happens with these is you pull them around like this. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then mark them on this side. Actually, let me give yourself a little room for your gate ring. Let me grab one of mine, because I'm not going to put my rings on until I get this done, but you don't want it to be too tight. Yeah. Okay. So that is about right. There, there, and there. There, there, and there. Okay. Okay, I didn't think that one went through, but it did. All right, so I'm gonna put this one on first. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so cute, guys. Yeah. Then I'm gonna wait on my gate ring. I can get my gate ring on after I've gotten these on. If you're using a D-ring, then you'd want to put it on now. I actually better put my gate ring on now. I don't want to struggle putting it on, so I'm going to put it on now. Because one of my rivets is in kind of the middle there. Yeah, I'll be able to get it on, so I'm going to take it off. Otherwise, it'll be a challenge. Perfect. Okay, same over here. No, it didn't go through. I was a weakling, and it didn't go all the way through. That's weird. There we go. Goodness. There we go. Okay. No? Oh my gosh, Barb. I'm not really that much of a weakling, but evidently today. There we go. Wow. Okay. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go press these, then I will put my gate ring on. So there you have your rivets. I'll go press them. Hi everybody, this is Barbie. This is what we made. So I got my gate rings on. I attached my strap. Look at this. This is adorable. It's a beautiful thing. So I have a little flip lock here. I have a full zipper pocket here. Your cell phone easily fits in there. Let me grab my cell phone. So your cell phone easily fits inside. Or you could put it under the flap. So either way, you got a flap here. This folds up and that flap flaps down, and then you have tons of room. And it's fully lined. And there are 2 credit card slots right here. I mean, so cute. Now, you can wear it as a crossbody. You can wear it as a waist bag. Let me put it on as a crossbody. Look at that. Isn't that, I'm trying to back up without knocking my chair. Oh my gosh. So you lift it up, you let your thing flop down, you get what you need. There's actually room for everything I carry. And then your zipper pocket, you could put your passport in there. It's big. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it fits in there perfectly. I like putting my phone in a zippered pocket so it doesn't fall out. All right, let me put it around my waist. All right, I had to tighten it up quite a bit, but look at that. Now, I'm a little chunky. You know, some would say I'm a lot chunky. My husband thinks I'm just right, but I mean, look at that. And there is plenty of room here to go tighter. There's a good 12, 14 inches to go tighter for you small folks. Or you can just take it off and wear it as a crossbody. So I did put, you know, a silver clasp on. So if you don't want to try and do it over your head, just take it off, reattach it. And I would wear it mostly as a crossbody. Oh my gosh. And this is all leather. 100% leather, except for that one little piece of waterproof canvas on the inside. You guys. Okay, a couple things I do different. Space your... I would space my rivets a little differently. Yeah, on this one, if you see, I had a little more room here. I would go a full 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. You want plenty of room to get that gate ring on. And getting these on was really tight. So you see how close that is there? So I had to put my gate rings between the two, which is fine. You know, that'll be fine. But next time I will put my first rivet way over here so my gate ring fits here. Either way is fine, but oh my gosh, this is mine. This one will be for sale. It is just as cute. Just as cute. It's got a twist lock instead of a flip lock, but it's got, you know, the same lining. This one actually has the linen lining that came in the kit. But it's all finished. You have the 2 credit card slots here. You have the full zipper pocket. This is faux leather. It is not edge coated. I don't think it needs it. And then another full zipper pocket there. An adjustable strap, so you could wear it as a crossbody or a waist pack. The Sorella by Simply Classic. Go get the pattern and make yours. Faux leather, it needs to be raw materials that can be raw edge. So I might paint this. I don't know. I'm going to have to see. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.